Today we're going to be revisiting Modern Warfare 2 2022. Now, I did make a video similar to this towards the beginning of the life cycle of Modern Warfare 3 called Revisiting Modern Warfare 2 after 100 plus hours in Modern Warfare 3, and even then it was pretty interesting going back to this game, just seeing how different Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 actually are. Black Gold, yeah, no thanks. I like the night vision maps, but that's not the first thing that I want to play when I get back on this game, you know what I mean? Because, you know, looking in the menu, right, like, it's one of those things where it looks so similar, yet so different at the same time. I got back into the same lobby of Black Gold. Is there literally only one lobby for Team Deathmatch? Is Modern Warfare 2 that dead? This is last year's Call of Duty. I don't believe that. But it's so uncanny how, like, similar these games look, at least in terms of, like, the menus and the layout and stuff like that, until you actually get into the game. Wow, we finally got into a match. I wasn't sure when that was gonna happen. So first things first, getting back into the game. Yeah, again, it's sort of uncanny how at first things kind of look similar until you notice the very particular differences in terms of the UI between Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. It's like, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, things feel really different. It almost feels uncomfortable to move. Like, the reason that I'm not walking or moving too much is just because it feels kind of weird when I do. I don't know how to explain it, but this compared to Modern Warfare, something feels wrong. It feels wrong to move in this game. Like, we all know Infinity War games tend to incentivize camping, but, like, you know, even when you're playing the game, you just don't want to move. You're just like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna sit in the corner instead. It's really hard to explain, but, like, when you're moving, it's just like, it almost feels like something is restricting you. Like, you know, in Modern Warfare 3, when you start running, you know, you feel like you're an Olympic sprinter, but then when you're in this game, it's just like, yeah, you know, you really do feel like you're lugging around 200 pounds of equipment, which, you know, that is really realistic, but I swear the tac sprint in this game is just like the normal sprint in Modern Warfare 3. It's very, very slow. And then when it comes to slide canceling, I mean, yeah, obviously that isn't a thing in this game, and that is another thing that I forgot. Yeah, this is a 100 HP Call of Duty, whereas Modern Warfare 3 is obviously 150 HP, so you're a bit slower in this game, but you also melt people in like a millisecond. And the fact that this game doesn't have slide canceling doesn't bother me. You know, I've said this many times before, like in my gameplay, I do tend to slide cancel a lot in Modern Warfare 3, but it's not because I care about the, you know, getting the competitive edge from slide canceling. It's literally just an OCD thing and my brain finds it satisfying to slide cancel. But again, I don't do it for any sort of like competitive reason. I just do it because it kind of looks flashy and it looks cool. So the fact that it's not in this game, it doesn't bother me per se. It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I gotta adjust to that. When you start to slide, you're just kind of locked into that slide and there's literally nothing you can do to break free from it. Now, call me crazy, say it's placebo. I mean, I don't know if it is, but even on a darker map like this, for some reason, I always just felt like Orion camo looks better. Oh, wow, dude is literally using Last Stand. But for some reason, I always felt like Orion camo looked better in Modern Warfare 2 than it does in Modern Warfare 3. Like, obviously, it still looks fine, especially if you get in the right lighting. But even on a darker map like this, I just feel like Orion camo looks a lot better in this game specifically for some reason. Look at this. This dude is literally sitting here using Last... No, I'm gonna wait till he gets up, and then I'm just gonna melt him. You ready for this? He's gonna revive. He's gonna try to stand up, and no, I'm not gonna let you. Last Stand again? Are you kidding me, dude? Again with the last, are you serious? It's so weird how, like, different this game, like, I'm not saying the game itself is weird to play, I'm just saying, like, again, because it's one of those things where you look at it and on the surface, it looks very similar to Modern Warfare 3, but when you play it, it's like, it is very different. You play this game differently, you know, you're more willing to, or not more willing, but I guess more prone to take things a bit more. Oh no, I heard my VTOL, I wanted to call it in, but I guess we reached the time limit. Hey, look at that, I got final kill, first game back on. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost like an instinct to take the corners a bit more slowly in this game and kind of like watch where you're going. Maybe it's because of the lower HP, it's hard to say really. The movement is also a lot more like stop and go in this game, whereas in Modern Warfare 3, you know, you're like always on the move, and even when you're not really moving, you know, you still got tac stance and just all around you're a lot faster, so you're always kind of moving. But in this game, it's like, it's very start and stop. Like, when you're only walking, it really feels like you're walking. Like, you're, like, slowly tiptoeing through the map. When you start sprinting, I mean, even then, it's not really like a sprint. It's more just like, you know, you're running, but you can really feel the equipment that your character is carrying with them. It's very realistic in that sense, I guess. One of the things I wanted to mention about this game, though, is that I actually do feel bad for oh, look at this, DRC Zone 1. This map is actually always a lot of fun. I like this one. I genuinely feel bad for Modern Warfare 2. This game is going to die a very sad, slow, and horrific death. You may be wondering why I say that, and that is because this is the first Call of Duty where it wasn't a separate application. I mean, obviously when the game first released, it was a separate application, but nowadays, obviously, oh man, look at Ghoulie camo in this lighting. Looks absolutely gorgeous. But obviously nowadays, if you want to go back and play a game like, say, Black Ops Cold War or Call of Duty, oh yeah, I forgot about this weapon, man. Look at it. Oh, this inspect is so clean. Does the thing got, oh, it's so good. You know, you just boot up the respective games and you go and play it. But now with the Call of Duty HQ, it's kind of one of those things where I don't want to say that Activision is necessarily like directly trying to keep people from playing the older games or make them less likely to do so, but in another sense, I mean, it is Activision, and obviously they want you to go buy the newer games, so it would kind of make sense if this was at least part of their strategy and part of why they do the things the way they do. But basically, they took the Modern Warfare 2 application, turned it into the Call of Duty HQ, and now every time that you want to boot up Modern Warfare 2, the application that you used to do that with is now obviously the HQ, and it kind of just defaults to take you to Modern Warfare 3, and if you want to play Modern Warfare 2, not only do you have to go out of your way and boot up the Call of Duty HQ and then launch Modern Warfare 2, which is a completely separate EXE, which means it takes way longer to boot up this game, even if you have an SSD. God forbid if you're still playing this on a mechanical hard drive, which there is still plenty of players playing this game on Xbox One and PS4. But Modern Warfare 2 has also been completely buried. When you launch up the game, you have the featured section at the top, and then you have the Modern Warfare 3 section, and then you have the Warzone section, and then at the bottom, then you have Modern Warfare 2, which means you genuinely have to go so far out of your way to scroll down, because obviously if you're getting on Call of Duty, you're just thinking, okay, multiplayer zombies, you see it there first thing, you click on it. You want to get on Warzone, you scroll down just a little bit, you see it there, and that's that. But for Modern Warfare 2, it's one of those things where it's so out of the way that I never even accidentally end up scrolling to it, right? Like, me scrolling down to click on this game, that was the first time that I happened to do that since I revisited this game back in, what, that would have been like November or December. Like, that was my first time scrolling down and actually just seeing the Modern Warfare 2 option there in like 5-6 months, something like that. So again, it's hard to say if that was like an intentional thing, but it kind of just really does feel like they're trying to just absolutely bury this game and be like, hey, go buy the new game, go play the new stuff. And it's sad because while yes, obviously the option to go back and play this game will always be there, it's so out of the way, and it's not even labeled on the application that like, hey, Modern Warfare 2 is a part of this. So for people that want to play Modern Warfare 2 that aren't constantly in the loop of Call of Duty, maybe they saw Modern Warfare 2 when it first came out, when it was still its own separate application, but then years down the line, you know, they're not able to find the game, and it's little do they know it's actually just because it's buried in the Call of Duty HQ. But how are they supposed to know, you know, for somebody that's way more casual and just doesn't keep up to date with this stuff, and then maybe they only hop in and casually play the campaign from time to time, maybe dive into a match of multiplayer once a year, you know, real casual like that. Some people might be sitting there like, is there actually players like that? But no, yeah, I know plenty of players like that. In fact, I'm even friends with some people like that where, you know, they buy the games every year literally just to play the campaign. Sometimes they buy the games right when they come out. Sometimes they wait until they're on sale a little bit later, but, you know, they dive in, play the campaign, might play like a match or two of multiplayer, have some fun there, see if there's any other modes in the game, and then they just kind of hop out. And then sometimes years down the line, whether they're feeling nostalgic for a certain campaign or whether they just want to give a certain multiplayer a shot after they hear me yapping about it just because, you know, I'm always talking about Call of Duty. Well, in this instance, imagine me having to explain, okay, so you have to download this Call of Duty HQ, and then once you download the Call of Duty HQ, that will just be the base installation for Warzone, and then once you open that up, then you're going to have two options. You can either buy Modern Warfare 3 or you can buy Modern Warfare 2. If you install Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2, you'll be able to use both of those, but remember, they're not separate applications. They are part of this Call of Duty HQ, and if you buy one, you won't have access to the other. So if you want to play Modern Warfare 3, you have to buy Modern Warfare 3, but that won't give you access to Modern Warfare 2 and vice versa. And then once you purchase one of those games, you'll have the option to install whatever parts of the game you want, whether it be the campaign or the multiplayer, or in Modern Warfare 3's case, the zombies. In which case, whether you're on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter. You have to sort through the files and figure out which parts of the game you want to install, or if you just want to install all of them, but keep in mind the game takes be it hundreds of gigabytes, so just make sure you have some free space before you do so. And then you just gotta wait a little while for those things to install or for the files to get configured, and then after you do that, once you open the Call of Duty HQ, I know it can be a little confusing for, you know, somebody that's not as well acquainted with this stuff to be like, oh yeah, Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3, they might accidentally get one of those things mixed up. So just make sure you don't accidentally click on one of those, so you don't accidentally purchase the wrong game if you don't have intentions to buy both of them. And then after that, again, when you open the Call of Duty HQ, just make sure you scroll to the right one, choose the right mode that you actually want to play, and then from there, you just gotta wait a little while as the game boots up the completely separate EXE for the game that you just clicked on if, you know, you're going back to play Modern Warfare 2. And finally, after all of that, everything should be okay. Oh, it's also worth mentioning that with new Call of Duty games, there's always that thing where you open the game, you click A, you wait, and then it updates the game and says update requires restart, so you have to restart the game again. But then after all that, once you get into it and you sort through the already arguably, debatably, kind of needlessly confusing or convoluted AI or UI that they have in Call of Duty games now. You know what, maybe I was right the original time with AI. I mean, only an AI can think up some of this stuff, I swear. Only an AI can make purchasing a game this convoluted. But anyway, yeah, you go through the convoluted UI, get to whatever mode you're looking for, and then from there, you should finally be able to play the game. Now, let's go back and look at a game like Call of Duty Black Ops 1. If you want to play Call of Duty Black Ops 1, you have one of two options. You either go to the PC or Xbox 360 or PS3, you know, storefront, you buy the game, you download it, and you play it. That's it. Or in my case, you know, if you don't like digital media and you prefer physical media, well, in that case, you could actually get the game even cheaper. If you want to go physical for Black Ops 1, you just buy the disc, put it in the console, load it up, and that's it. I mean, it's literally as simple as that. You open the case, put the disc in the console, you're playing the game. Maybe that's not a fair comparison. That game is from 2010, so how about we look at something even more recent? Call of Duty Vanguard. It's its own application. You click on the game, you know, if you haven't bought it yet, you buy it, you choose what you want to download, which on itself can be a little convoluted to figure out, but even then, you know, I'm talking for like, you know, somebody that's very casual, you know, even then, it's mostly self-explanatory to figure out. You just purchase the game, then you choose, do you want the campaign, the multiplayer, the zombies, or all three? You click download, and just like that, Call of Duty Vanguard is ready to go. The modes are all there, clearly labeled out inside of the game. It's very easy to navigate. Or again, in my case, I do have a physical copy of Call of Duty Vanguard, so I just put the disc in my console, it downloads the game, and then I open the game, and that's it. I'm playing Call of Duty Vanguard. So I know that was a bit of a random rambly tangent, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like in the future, it may not seem like a big deal now, and for people that are in the know with technology and gaming and stuff like that, it's just like, well, that's not that hard. You're just making it sound hard. It's not that bad, but you gotta remember, I mean, Call of Duty is like the best-selling game every year unless there's a Rockstar game out. The only time Call of Duty has really ever been outsold has been by like, you know, like Red Dead 2 or like GTA 5. So there's tons of casual people. Like, I even know people in my family that are like in their 50s that still play Call of Duty, and they're not, you know, that tech savvy. We're talking about people that go from, all right, let's blow the dust out the Nintendo, pop it in and play some Super Mario Kart to, all right, now I gotta navigate this, so wait, I open up the Call of Duty HQ, and then what do I do? So yeah, I don't know, just being on this game kind of makes me sad, because, you know, I'm even here just strolling through this convoluted UI, and I'm just like, you know, yeah, quitting out to the COD HQ, it's like, I don't know, man. They're just kind of burying this game. And I mean, at least it's still here, right? At least it's all here in its full capacity. But it is kind of annoying because, like, when you're playing this, right, like, even navigating to the different parts of Modern Warfare 2 is going to give me a headache. So when you launch up the Call of Duty HQ, you have options to either go to the campaign or the multiplayer or whatever. And when you're here in the multiplayer, I mean, obviously you can play the multiplayer, the ground war, the raids, or, you know, like the co-op, spec op stuff, which is cool. But if you want to play the campaign isn't even a part of this branched off Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer EXE. Like, before, the multiplayer and the campaign were all a part of the same EXE file, but now for some reason they have it split up in a way to where, yes, you have the co-op and the raids and the multiplayer and all that stuff here, like the side modes of Modern Warfare 2 here as part of one EXE. But if you want to play the campaign, you have to boot up a separate EXE, which isn't even as simple as doing that from Modern Warfare 2. You need to close out of the EXE that you already opened, go back to the COD HQ, which requires launching another EXE, wait for the thing to log you back into the COD HQ, which that in itself can take a couple of minutes, then scroll all the way down to find the campaign, launch the campaign EXE, and finally you'll be able to play that. But if you decide that you want to go play the multiplayer in this game, then you got to do the whole process again, inevitably launching like 5 to 6 EXEs in total just to bounce between different modes of the game. I mean it when I say that not only the state of the game now, but like years in the future, not only is it sad, but it's dreadful. This game is gonna die one day, and it's because of these decisions. Who knows? Maybe I'll be proved wrong, but I just feel like compared to most Call of Duties, this one is gonna have way less players in the future just because of all these hoops that you gotta jump through. Who knows? Again, maybe I'll be wrong. Hopefully I am, because I do love this Call of Duty, but I don't know. It just makes me sad. I just miss when things were a bit more simple. Because back then, things were this simple. So, let's just say that I'm on my main menu and I'm like, alright, you know, I want to play some Black Ops 2. My favorite Call of Duty of all time. I click on the game, I sit through a very nostalgic opening, and then I sit through the opening sequences that, you know, literally every video game in existence has had, ever. And just like that, I'm at the main menu ready to pick which mode I want to play, and yeah, that's it. I don't know. Am I overthinking this stuff? I'd love to hear from you guys. But anyway, as always, massive shout out to all the Patreons and channel members. Thank you to all low ball to your shout out to all in big ball to your last game, but dad, many of these shout out on G tier run events on the cheat code. Thank you guys so much, guys. So, Literal Legends, I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. See you before. I love you all. Peace.